Hi guys. I had absolutely no idea that this video was going to be as long as it is. So I am cutting it into two parts. I just finished the barbecue spare ribs that I made in the second part of the video. So make sure that you come and watch it because they were delicious and my belly is very, very happy. So enjoy. Thank you.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to you. I hope that you had a beautiful day and that you had a great week. And I hope that you get to do something fun tonight and enjoy yourself. I am in the process of making barbecue ribs and they smell so delicious. My house smells so amazing right now. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different today, and I'm going to give you me cooking these ribs and how I did them and showing you the process because I love to cook, and that's something that I have not yet put into my Hippie Heart. So I'm going to share with you my secret barbecue spare ribs recipe. In the meantime, I wanted to talk to you about something that's been going on in my life for the last few months, but I haven't talked about it yet. And actually, I'm really, really curious to see if anybody else is experiencing what I'm experiencing. And so I wanted to talk to you about it. So for the last few months, I have not been able to find a movie, a TV show, something to watch that is holding my attention. And I'm not really sure what it is because I don't mind watching TV. I like watching TV, especially if I'm relaxing at night. And I cannot find anything that holds my attention. So I'll start watching something for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And there have been a few of them where I even really just pushed through and kept watching for 30 minutes or so. And then I talk to the TV and I say, sorry, I got to shut you off. And I don't really know what it is. I've been giving it a lot of thought trying to figure it out because I haven't really spoken to other people that are going through this experience. And so I've been playing a little detective on my own. And I'm actually thinking that it is kind of a spiritual thing because as my spiritual journey progresses, I am building more and more of a bullshit detector. And it's interesting because there were a couple of movies over the last few weeks that I was very interested in. I was very interested in the story, and I really got involved in the beginning of it. And I was like, oh, this has the potential to be a really good movie. There were two of them in particular. They had great actors. I loved the concept of it. It was a little bit different than anything else that I had ever seen. And I started watching it, and both of them, they got about 30 or 40 minutes into the movie, and the beginning part up until then was excellent. And then all of a sudden, the agenda is revealed, and it's something about politics, or it's something about transgenders, or it's always got an agenda to it. And I just don't have any interest in taking the time that is supposed to be my entertainment time and watching that BS because I could just throw on the news. And I don't do that anymore. So I'm thinking that my BS detector just feels like the story doesn't naturally progress, or the story has something that's thrown into it and it bores me. It does not hold my attention. And honestly, I think it's pretty stupid. You know, people are here to be entertained. So if I'm watching a documentary, then I understand that I'm learning facts. But when I'm watching a movie for entertainment, I really, truly don't want to be hearing about, how terrible the country is or the politics all around the world. And so I just shut it off. So what I find is that the things that are holding my attention right now are not TV shows and are not movies, but I'm doing more creative projects. I'm doing projects that I have complete control over, and I control the input and the output. And a lot of times, if I'm working on an art project or something creative, like maybe crocheting something, I will normally have the TV on behind me or normally listen to some music in the background. And even the music that I normally listen to is something that I just, for the most part, don't want to listen to anymore. And I've been doing a lot more listening to meditative music, to sound healing, to jazz, no lyrics, just the instruments. And I love the way that the frequencies and the instruments make me feel. And I also love the fact that I don't have to listen to lyrics. And it's so interesting for me to say that because I almost all the time have music in the background where I am. And now the music is different, and so many things are different. And I was getting frustrated with it in the beginning because I was like, I just want to sit and watch something. And then I did what I've been doing with a lot of things in my life, which is instead of pushing back, I just gave in. And now I just am doing what feels right. So, for example, I was cooking yesterday, and a lot of times when I cook, I blast my playlist, and there's like maybe 20 songs on there, and there's some of my favorite songs, and they're like songs to really dance around and have fun with. And a lot of times when I cook or I bake, I put that playlist on, I put my headphones on, and I dance around the kitchen while I'm in there. But yesterday I was doing a full day of cooking, and I tried to put the music on and nothing. I like didn't even feel like moving and dancing around. And so I know you're going to laugh at me, but I put on Mei-lan, and she has a new meditation that went up a couple of weeks ago that I really, really like. It's very different than her previous ones, and it's in a very different frequency, and you can hear that when you're listening to it. It's maybe about 20 minutes long, and I can put the link for you down below. I highly recommend it. It's beautiful. But I spend now most of my time listening to music like Mei-lan's. I found a handpan performer or artist that I really like. I've been listening to a lot more jazz music, which has been reminding me how much I love jazz music and the sound of that saxophone and the piano, and it just gets me right here. So one of the things that I've been thinking about is, everybody has regrets, right? And one of the regrets of my life is that I did not continue with my piano lessons. Poppy, if you're watching this, then yes, I think about it all the time. So when I was younger, my father taught me how to play the piano, and he was my piano teacher. And I used to do lessons with him the same way that you would do lessons with, a regular teacher. But my piano was in the dining room in the front of the house, and there were shades there. And when the shades were lifted, I would look outside and see all of my friends outside playing. And so instead of playing the piano, little did I know, I decided to go outside and play. And I would just like to say that I grew up in one of those neighborhoods where everybody was outside, everybody was friends. You would go into the house and your parents would tell you just to go outside and play with your friends. And a lot of the people who lived in my neighborhood who I played outside with as a kid, I'm still connected to through Facebook or Instagram. And that's kind of the cool thing about social media. But all I wanted to do was go outside and play with my friends. And of course, when you're younger, there's no way to really look into your future and know that that's one of those things that you need to just keep doing. So For many, many years, I have thought about the fact that I really wished that I continued to play. And I have a keyboard set up in my bedroom. And every once in a while, I sit down and I just kind of play a little bit. And it's not really to write a song or to write anything specific. It's just me like feeling the music going through me. So, one of the things that I decided that I'm going to do is instead of going back and starting with piano again, I am going to take my love of music and sound and frequency, and I am going to buy myself a crystal bowl, and I'm going to do all of my research to determine which is the right frequency and which is the right one that I need to start with. And then I'm going to learn how to play the crystal bowls, because I figure that at this point in my life, and with the things that are of interest to me right now in my life, my time would probably be better spent learning how to do that than getting back to the piano, which hopefully I will get to do one day when I am retired and I don't have to worry about working anymore. That is definitely on my list. But for now, I think that I'm going to learn how to play the crystal bowls. And I've also noticed some sound healing programs or courses that are being done in my area. So I'm going to get one of them and learn. And then if it feels like something that I can really sink myself into, then I think I'm going to sign up for one of those classes. So I will keep you posted. But I would love to hear from you if you are either experiencing what I'm experiencing and you're on a spiritual path, because part of me feels like there's a big reason that that I can't keep my attention on things like TV or movies. And I think that it is a spiritual thing for me. But I really would love to hear from you if you're experiencing this now, if you've ever experienced it before. How long does it last for? Do you just feed into it and when it's over, it's over? One more note is, it's funny because there are a few shows that are like just old faithfuls for me. And it doesn't matter how many times that I've seen them, they are my old faithfuls. And even with what I am going through right now, they are actually the only shows that I can watch. So, a shout out to New Girl, which I have seen probably 50 times every single episode, and still I laugh every single time I watch it. And How I Met Your Mother is on that list, so I rotate those through, and The Good Place. And The Good Place does have some beautiful spiritual connotations to it. And if you've not seen it, then I highly recommend it. I would love to hear from you. Please let me know. And let's take a look at these ribs that I'm making, and I'll give you a new recipe.
I am sorry to leave you hanging because these ribs were so good, but this video was just way too long. So come back and join me tomorrow for part 2, and I will walk you through some of the greatest ribs that I have ever made in my life.